What is going on, folks? This is Jason Hopkins with I Am Jason Hopkins podcast. I'm coming at you, and I'm very excited about what I am going to be sharing. But first, before we go into step 2, there has been a delay from when I did step 1, and been working on the quality and how I can make that better. But also I had some legal issues going on, and I want to bring this to the forefront because when you come at me, it's okay. It's fine. The truth will set you free. And I want to give acknowledgement to a licensed bar associate that specializes in domestic relations, criminal defense. This man is none other than Lucas Thompson from Circleville. Phi Delta Phi International Legal Honors Society, Phi Delta Alpha Society of Scholars. Brand new, out the gates, passed the bar in May 9, 2022. So, I just want to give my acknowledgments because school and education can only get you so far. And when it comes down to it, when you're done with school and have all that debt, when you get a client that wants to pay you, you will pretty much take it. He will learn from this because he will not win. He, like I said, Lucas Thompson, please go to Facebook. I think it's facebook.com/Lucas for Ohio. Maybe looking for a step up eventually for a political office. But anyway, I'm a witness on the stand, and this month it'll be finally wrapping up, I hope. And he's going to lose. He's going to lose pretty bad. And I hope he understands that you don't need to take every case because you just need the money. And that's my biggest stress. So I'm acknowledging him, and it's a shout out. I think he will do good. I think he will do well. And I think, experience will help him out. So anyway, this episode is dedicated to Lucas Thompson of Circleville, ESQ. Woo! Fancy stuff. Went to Tiffin and then went to Appalachian School of Law. Good for him. It's awesome. Hope Daddy paid for that. But anyway, brand new. I think he can, after this, he's going to learn. He's going to learn not to take every case just because they're going to pay him. So anyway, that's my acknowledgement. I like him. He's coming at me. That's totally fine. And like I said, this is acknowledgement. I'm trying to help you out, Lucas. Anyway, his phone number is 740-207-2978. And you can find him on Facebook, facebook.com/Lucas for Ohio. Anyway, that sets up something beautiful for step 2. Step 2 in Alcoholics Anonymous. We cover this in pages 44 through 58. And basically, I need a miracle. Russell Brand, a lot of people don't like, but man, when he reconfigured the words of the steps, it just really hit me. In step 2, his verbiage, could you not be fucked? Wow. You know, it's easier to stay sober than to get sober. You have to put in the work, and it's very hard. Every day it's a challenge. I can't say that enough, because so many of you out there, you know, it's like, come on midnight. Like, if you're really, really trying and you have a sober support system, this stuff works. It really does. So today's lesson in step 2 of the big book, again, runs through pages 44 through 58. And what it ultimately says is, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Step 2 of the big book. I might be running a little slow. I think my quality is a lot better than last time, but I'm getting so much feedback that I'm not used to. I am hearing a delay in my microphone / headset, and it's probably sounding a little bit slow. And I'm not trying to do that. But anyway, we have to understand what evidence is on display. Evidence is our actions. Like, what are we doing day in and day out? Like, how is that showing off to the world? Because we're not looking at that. When we're in the moment of addiction, we're just in that moment. Nothing else matters. It's just about getting that next fix. And people that are normal do not understand this, and that's okay. And I hope through this and working on the step 2, we can help and explain what really is going on in our fucked up heads. Now, we know there's a mental obsession with alcohol and drugs, a known physical allergy that will never leave us. Like, it's not, folks. We don't want to acknowledge that we're broken and we're allergic to this, and we think we could just do it one time and be done. But we admitted to ourselves we were powerless over alcohol. That is step 1. And we have to admit that first. We have to take that step. And we have to understand that this is out of our control. And once we do, we start to fix ourselves. And that is what this podcast, this episode, and the more to follow is going to break this down. Definition of mental obsession. Mind obsessing thinks it's taking care of you when in fact it's robbing you of your power and peace. Robbing you of your power and peace. I hope at some point listening to me, you have a little bit of clarity in understanding that. Because that is what's going to make the change. I really do. Even on the streets, in recovery, in a halfway house, in a sober house, in a recovery house, all the freaking names that they want to call this shit. I hope you can see and feel that. Man's best treasury is the thievery. The ego must go. And basically that is an acronym, I love acronyms, for edging God out. You know, we assume and we think we're gods and we're powerful against this. I mean, we are living in the most undesirable places and thinking that it's okay. So how do we fix it? You know, expectations is a premeditated resentment. And what does that mean? Resentments are going to be on step 4, the most powerful step in the 12 steps. So when I say expectations is a premeditated resentment, what that is saying is that what I expect will soon hurt me, piss me off, and I will bury it inside that can take me back out. Well, that's what we don't want, guys. We want to figure this shit out, right? Now, there's a common solution. There's power page number 44 in the big book. And it says, if honestly you find you cannot quit entirely, or when you have little or no control over the amount you take, you are probably an addict. Now that is something that many people lose focus of. Like Ohio State just had the big game this weekend. I have many friends that are like indulging beyond excess. And not judging, not anything with them. But they continue this pattern. Eventually it'll catch up with them. And that will destroy their life. And they don't see that. And that's okay. You know. And for some, they don't have that allergy. They're fine. They can drink, 3 beers and quit. And they can watch TV in the game and talk with other people. And it's entirely fine. But we have to understand, do we have this allergy? Do we have this infection that we cannot indulge in excess of alcohol and drugs because we will not stop? It's a lack of power. We have to find a power by which we could live, and it has to be a power greater than ourselves. So what does that look like? What is that power? Is it a power of God? Is it a power of the universe? For me, when I first started, it was a power of my grandmother. She was my God. She was my higher power. And I hope that if you're listening and these are things that kind of deterred you from the program, I hope I'm making it sound a little bit better or understandable. But you have a lack of power. And it's clear because of the actions that you're taking and how and why and where you're living. That's it. You assume you are in control of all of this. And you are 100% not in control. It controls you. And this is a hard truth right here, folks. Hate to say it, but we are predators acting like victims. And what I mean by that is the bullshit that we are putting our families through. How, the what's, the when, the where. They're dropping us off for our plug. They're dropping food off and then to the trap house. Like, you're putting your family through a bunch of bullshit that is not normal. And I'm just trying to help you understand. That is, if you're even talking to them. You may have, I've ran into people that has robbed their parents blind. They won't even, parents will not even give them a key to the house as they're in recovery because they have stolen so much from them. And I understand. We also have so many people that don't have parents. And that this whole thing, they're just like not even listening right now. But it applies to you as well. If you have no parents, doesn't matter. You're acting and manipulating as the predator. And then you're telling everyone in the world that you're just the victim. You're doing both. You're playing the game. And we have to place value on shit that doesn't matter. And what I mean by that is we need to change that focus. We have placed value on shit that doesn't matter. We need to change that focus to what does matter. And it's just a shift. We need to place the value on new shit is basically what I meant. Because all we're doing is placing value on I'm living homeless, I'm in the trap house, I'm under the bridge, but I have this tent and I have this and that. Are you kidding me? That's the way you're living? Come on. Change the value. And on page 44, it says, hoping against hope that we weren't addicts. And the thing is, like, we can hope and think and deny that we are addicts at all or we have issues. And the problem is we do. And until we realize that we have that issue and that problem and we are broken, you're never going to be fixed. Never. Page 45. Lack of power that was our dilemma. We had to find a power which we could live. And it had to be a power greater than ourselves. But where? Where do you find that power? God. Grandma. My aunt. My cousin. Someone else that has passed and is above us. I 100% agree with that. If you don't believe in God, then find someone that is OD'd, or your friend, or someone that's above you looking down, and that is your higher power. Pray, talk to them, do these steps. And the thing is, we need God's power. And that's a piece of it. And after this step, we're going to move to step 3. It furthers our acknowledgement that recovery can't happen alone. Like, we need a program. And, there's old timers in AA that want to spend a month on step 1 at a time. And some of you may need to. This is just a decision. Step 1 was just an understanding. We basically are blocking ourselves from power. Ego is on autopilot. Ego is running us. And we move to step 3, which is more of an introduction. So we have 1, we're powerless. We have 2, making that thought, I need a miracle. I need something. Could I not be fucked? Man, it's easier to stay sober. But I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. That's just another thought. So boom, boom, you could get this done in one day. Step 3, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And we're going to go into this more in depth. Like, this is a big step. We have step 1, step 2, and then this. And for a lot of people, you want to check out, be done, say, fuck you, I'm out. But you got to understand, with step 1 and step 2, you are blocking yourself. And how can you ask God if you're blocking yourself from any type of recovery? We act as God. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Because, man, I was acting as God the whole time. I'm religious now, but what I'm saying is that when I first went through the program, my last program, I was acting as if I was God. Like, I'm in control, and I'm doing this, and I'm handling this, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And when you take a step back and you kind of look at, from like a bubble perspective, looking down on yourself, we are acting as God. You cannot see your thoughts. You walk around all day like, I'm in control. You're selfish, self-centered all day long. It's about you. Even the relationships you have when you're in addiction, they fail because that's how we're acting. I like this quote. It says, in youth we learn. When we are old, we understand. And it takes time to mature to that level. It takes time to understand and see what we have done. And my thoughts and prayers go out to many of you. I hope this sounds good. I have so much feedback kicking in my ears. It's very hard to record, but I hope it sounds good. Step 2 is just that. I need a miracle. And I want you to reach out. I want you to text me. I want you to get a grip, because we have many more steps, and it gets very, very fun. Because I'm smiling, because step 4, it can change your life. And it will change your life if you're wanting and striving for this. So I hope whoever is listening to this, spread it. Whoever likes it, give me the thumbs up. And we just kind of go from there. Because now we have step 3. And I want to let you know that I love you. You're important. And you matter. This is I Am Jason Hopkins podcast.